Hey everybody, my name is Wyatt and I'm Ferda Tunes, and it's been a while since I've done one of these videos, and I feel like I say that every time, but I'm gonna say it again. I love doing these videos, especially when it's in a situation like this. I'm already stuttering. Like Blade and Makhami and many other artists that I've done these kinds of videos on, I find myself absolutely and helplessly addicted to this artist's sound. I do this series to give a more personal touch to the music we all love, and I strongly encourage you to share your stories, memories, etc. in the commentaria. Now, DJ Sabrina, the teenage DJ, is someone who's been on my radar for a few years now, but only recently I finally checked out their stuff, and I have since been living with an elevated state of mind. So what I want to focus on most in this video is a short intro or description for people who may not have heard of her, how I got into her, and what made me fall so in love with her music so quickly, and overall just what makes her so great. Y'all read the title, let's go. DJ Sabrina, the teenage DJ, is a completely anonymous duo from London consisting of DJ Sabrina and her sibling Salem, which is her cat, which we'll get to later. I didn't personally know any of this until researching for this video. Everyone I see talk about her refer to her as just her, as if it's just one person that is creating this entirely new universe in my mind. If anyone's got some clarity on who does what in the duo, or any confirmation on this, or if this is just something quirky that she says in interviews to keep up the mystique, please let me know. As I mentioned, I'm still somewhat of a new fan, and as always, if there's any misinformation or important aspects that you think should be noted, just yell at me in the comments. Like always, just feel free to just trash my shit. Anyways, DJ Sabrina, the teenage DJ, makes a huge variety of house and electronic and dance music, utilizing plunderphonics as well, which often gives their sound an extremely nostalgic, almost vintage feel in a way. Plunderphonics, for the old heads out there, is essentially music that's entirely made up of sampling other recordings, pieces of various songs put together to create something new. In Sabrina's case, she seems to take from any and all forms of media. Dialogue clips from TV shows, interviews, layers, or mere seconds of blips of songs that are barely recognizable unless it happens to be a song that you've listened to 100 times, which I was actually lucky enough to happen to me on the first song I ever listened to from her, which was Call You. Pretty much immediately I noticed Megan Thee Stallion vocals and ad-libs from the chorus of Shake That, sampled in such a perfectly messy and quirky way, really weird way to start and end the song, but this probably still stands out to me as her most unusual sample, and it still weirds me out how well it works despite the severe contrast in sound. Now, I'll dive deeper into her sound in a minute, but I have to mention how essential the cover artworks are to her project's overall vibe. Even just taking a quick glance at some of their album covers, you get an overwhelming sense of nostalgia, and in my case, an almost dizzying sense of deja vu. If you're too young to get the very obvious reference, which is unfortunately understandable nowadays, Sabrina the Teenage Witch was a TV show that ran from 1996 to 2003. Now, I was born in 98, so I feel lucky to even have the slightest, faintest, blurred half a memory of seeing this show, probably once when I was laid up on a pile of mama's fresh laundry on the bed during a snow day, and that's all I can tell you about the show. Really, the buzz of that TV that's got the small screen but the dump truck in the back. Obviously, the TV show is a large part of DJ Sabrina's whole thing, and it kind of made me want to watch the OG show just to see if I can pick up on more samples. But to me, at least, it's not about the show, it's about the vibe. The pixelated kind of 32-bit map type artwork, no idea really what to call it, but I love it. Like I said, just scrolling through their artist page, I feel like most people around my age will have this alluring sense of familiarity. Sabrina has said she loves VGA era video games and has a passion for pixels, which, I mean, that explains it right there, doesn't it? But these covers are so much more to me in such a weird way. They're so beautiful and kind of funny, especially Charmed. It has this infectious aura to it, like one of those computer games you saw on the shelf in 2002 and was mesmerized or perplexed by it, but your mom pulled you further down the aisle and you left the store, and this visual was somewhat lost in your subconscious forever. Unsure if you missed out on a world of immersive fun or if it was just another shitty 90s 90s computer game with a colorful cover. Now take that almost lost feeling and apply it to her sound. Finally diving in and going album to album, falling in love with and digesting her music as much as I could. It feels to me like finding a box chock full of these games or tapes or movies that were just an obscure memory to you as a child. Maybe just that feeling you got when you caught a glimpse of the cover in the store, but they're expanded into these fully fleshed out worlds that you can sit with and properly explore and feel that sense of mystical wonder you did as a child, but now you understand it and have a deep, almost spiritual admiration for it now, relishing in the fact that it's been lost, but it never really left you. All this, as well as, frankly, fucking banger house and dance beats, EDM flares, moments of pure serenity. All of this encapsulates, frankly, a sound unlike anything I've really heard. Any kind of lo-fi or outsider house fans will probably know what I'm talking about, but Sabrina's soundscapes can be so polished, so immersive, and especially so massive that they transcend these genre tags, becoming just as accessible as any of the greats in house or just traditional electronic dance music. This is more apparent than ever on her most recent album, Destiny, a sprawling 4-hour epic that takes you through bits and pieces of just about any kind of electronic or dance music that you can think of. This is easily her most versatile album yet, countless infectious, jaw-droppingly beautiful house and sample compositions, a couple handfuls of hard-hitting, energetic dance earworms like the song Dance Now. Again, it's hard-hitting and it's got such amazing and strong grooves, but on the flip side, it's still just as euphoric and uplifting and beautiful and just like awe-inspiring. But it also just dance your ass off. Like it's everything. I don't like, how did this happen? And yeah, this album is 4 hours. It's a beast and a half. It is a tough bargain, but I can't really express how near perfect I think this album is. I know y'all are like, bro, come on, it's 4 hours. How can it really? There's 40 songs, but trust me, I don't know, maybe it's just me for real. And I feel like people say this about every ambitiously long album, but despite its length, it does keep things very fresh. And bottom line, if you're a fan of this kind of music, I can't see how you won't thoroughly enjoy nearly every song here. Again, if you like any kinds of house music, especially obviously, but any kind of electronic dance music, you're getting pieces. It's got random detours into jazz pop with the song called The End, one of my personal favorites, even flexing her instrumental hip-hop skills and taste, which when I first heard, my jaw was on the floor, and so was my dick. I say it a lot on this channel, but again, we don't do a lot of hip-hop content here, but I am a hip-hop head to the fucking, yeah. It's known she cited many hip-hop producer greats such as J Dilla and Dr. Dre and many others as her influences, and it ain't hard to see on the song called He's My Baby. Physically couldn't believe my ears when I heard this, and the next few times I was a little, so I was like, did Nujabes come on? Literally. I genuinely, my guy Nujabes, oh my god, I love him so much. And highest compliments to the chef, because he is one of the greatest ever. But I literally, that beat, literally you could have told me that was Nujabes and my goofy ass probably would have, oh my god. This album is overwhelming, and I don't think I can recommend it as a good place to start. It's 4 fucking hours. But I do think, again, if you're a fan of that sound, you just have that much more to enjoy. And I know I'm not the only one that's shocked they can enjoy practically every damn minute of a 4-hour album. Still, definitely her most popular album so far in her discography is Charmed. It is a 3-hour house extravaganza that is just as immense and fun and wondrous as any other project in her discography. As you go through her albums, you definitely find each one has its own feel and vibe for the most part, but at the same time, it sticks so true to its roots that it makes her near flawless consistency that much more impressive in my eyes. At this point, her sound seems to be infinitely ever evolving. I have to say, in terms of a front to back not being too long, Bewitched is still maybe my personal favorite from her. This was the first full album I listened to from her, and then I went to Making Magic and prestiged each level from there. But I find this is at her most nostalgic. The sound walls and sampling here are much more lush than most of her albums, and I find she just goes for a much more traditional song structure here, still with that slow building house progression, but more verse, chorus, verse here. And the choruses here are endlessly catchy to me. Another aspect I love about her music, and how are you a good songwriter too in between all of this? By the way, there's quite a few songs that feature a very prominent singer, like I mentioned earlier, The End. I don't know who's singing on that. I don't know if it's just she just sampled the whole fucking song from some next shit, or if it's her singing, or what? If anybody knows, let me know. A part of me very quickly became one of my favorites. A fucking half bar from Royce da 5'9" becomes almost this yearnful chant that's still dope and has that swag to it, but slapped into this gorgeous synth chord arrangement. Groovy ass and almost well hidden bass line. I cannot get enough of this track. It's one of the most euphoric EDM songs I've ever heard. And I know it's not one of her most popular, but I try to point y'all to what I find just personally impossibly good. So like I usually do with these videos, I'll leave a list in the description of what I personally find to be the best songs to dive into first if you're interested and you've never heard of her. But as always, please help me out in the comments, drop some of your favorite songs, explain to me why. Genuinely, I'm always so curious, especially for an artist with a discography as expansive as this. We could go all day, so let's go all day. Like, drop a paragraph, I'll read it. I'm in there like swimwear. But at the top of that list, I already know is going to be the song Charmed, the self-titled track from the most popular album. This disco-infused house track that, oh my god, it bangs. It's just perfect. This shit feels like Daft Punk meets Madonna meets Frankie Knuckles. I don't fucking know. Like, I could go on and on about this music and how unique I think her sound is. It's just as good with sitting, stoned, tripping, laying down and relaxing and being transported to space as it is with, again, just dancing that ass off. Either way, when I toss a DJ Sabrina album on, I find for an hour and a half minimum, because that's how short her albums get, my brain is constantly massaged. My mind feels open completely. And my spirit just feels that much more in line with myself and love and the universe as a whole. And I'm just more and more bewildered and amazed by this feeling. And again, just how flawlessly consistent it is through every album that I've heard from her. Like, there's not much more I can say. DJ Sabrina, can I call you the teenage DJ? Thank you. I just thank you, first off. I mean, I just got into her music like 2-3 months ago, and I just cannot stop. It's an addiction. Like, call me Amy, because I'm not going to rehab. Oh my god, I'm tweaking now. There's much more info on her than I thought when I went into research for this video, as I dove into her various written interviews. I will link them all in the description that I got my fairly surface level info from. But Sabrina, I think we need a new interview, if you know what I'm talking about. Let's make it more lively. Hit me on the Zoom call, wear a mask, pitch your voice up. I don't care. I would kill for even just the opportunity to talk with a person like this, just to geek about influence and music and sound, because I just, like, where is this all coming from? Like, I need more. But the anonymity of it all, the mystique, is just that much more enthralling and just makes me more obsessed with it, for better or for worse. But I cannot get enough, and I cannot recommend this artist enough to y'all. If you haven't heard of her, again, if you have, please, like, let me know just your experience, period, in the comments. Thank you so much for watching. I worked so hard on just the writing of this video, and I know I'm gonna try and go hard with the editing. I hope it was fire. Join the Discord. The Ferda family is waiting. Over 250 members. Really cool music, really cool people. Links in the description. And again, please let me know your favorite song in the comments, your experience with her. And if you haven't heard of her, I hope I put you onto something dope today. I really hope. And if I did, you know, you check it out, come back and let me know what you think. Much love, y'all. I hate ending the video here. I'm like, man, I could talk for hours, but that's what the Discord's for. Come join us, baby. Let's chat it up.